Hello, I am Katie Carbine Cahoon, and I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about my internship experience at American Heritage School. Now, my experience is a little bit different. Long story short, I have a baby, and I needed someone to watch the baby while I did my internship, and my mom said that she would do it, but she lives down in Utah. So I needed to find an internship down in Utah. Um, and so my aunt, who also lives in Utah, she actually helped me arrange this internship. She works at American Heritage School, and she talked to the vice principal for me to help me get this set up. And so that is how I was able to get this internship arranged. Um, so this is American Heritage School. Here's the front of it. It is located in American Fork, Utah. And fun fact, it is actually located right across the mountain Minogu's Temple. And the reason why is because it is actually an LDS-based private school. And it is for grades K through 12. And this school year, the 2016-2017 school year, this school actually was doing a full-day kindergarten program for the very, very first time. So that is where I did my entire internship. My internship lasted for 10 weeks, and I worked 3 days a week. The first half of my internship, so the first 5 weeks, I worked in Mrs. Strong's full-day kindergarten class. So this is her class. Each of these classes had 18 students. My first day in this class, there was actually a new student, and the first couple of weeks of my internship, I worked with him a lot, one-on-one, during class time, during homework time, things like that, to help him get caught up with all the rest of the students. This school is a little bit unique in that they don't teach letter names, they teach phonograms. So, like for us, we know the alphabet as A, B, C, D, but these kindergartners were learning each of the letters as the sounds that they make. So egg is a, ah. B is b, And so I had to catch this student up on all of those things that the students have been learning. Another thing I did was I made language games for curriculum. As this was the first time that this teacher was teaching full-day kindergarten, she sometimes needed things to fill the time because she wasn't quite used to the time frame. Like, it was a lot longer, and so she needed things to fill the time. So I helped make these language games, and I also provide extra helps for students during the day. So I basically acted as like a teacher's aide, just like running errands, helping the students, helping with curriculum, things like that. I also tested the students the first couple of weeks of school in both full-day kindergarten classes on their background knowledge of their letter names, colors, and shapes. So here are a couple of pictures of things that I would have done specifically. And these pictures is the actual regular classroom aide that's hired by the school. In the picture on the left, you can see her helping out one student as the teacher is teaching. And that is something that I did a lot. Just as students had questions and things, I would go around the classroom, bend down, help them figure things out, or answer a question in their ear, or something like that. On the left, the aide is actually helping during center time, where the class would be broken up into 3 separate groups, and the aide here is doing language games with the students. And sometimes I would do things like that too. The last 5 weeks of my internship, I worked in Mrs. Bingham's full-day kindergarten. Now, in this class, it was a whole different experience because I was actually working with a little girl with special needs, and her diagnosis is Prader-Willi syndrome. And for those who don't know it, it is on the autism spectrum, but it also has other symptoms like her body didn't tell her when she was full. And so food was often a problem because she felt hungry all the time. And her body doesn't metabolize food as well as it should, and she struggled with gross motor skills and things like that. And so I was assigned to shadow her to help keep her on task during class. I also tutored a boy in Mrs. Bingham's class 30 minutes a day every day that I worked. And I actually did this for most of my internship after I did all of the testing. He was more on a preschool level. And so, in addition to that, because of all the things that I would help tutor him with, I was able to assist in developing a preschool curriculum for the reading program, because it happened quite often that kindergartners would come to school not quite prepared for kindergarten. And so then the reading program would step in and teach these students in small groups. But the lady who's in charge of this program didn't have a lot of preschool materials. And since she was teaching a lot, that's where I was able to help in creating a curriculum for her so then she could use it later. So here's some things I gained from this experience. I gained a ton of confidence in my ability to work with children. I was extremely nervous to begin this internship, especially in working with professionals who had been working with children for a very long time. I was just very extremely nervous, and I developed a love for helping children who have special needs. After working with that girl with Prader-Willi syndrome, I just fell in love with working with students like her and being able to see the impact that I was able to make in helping her. And I also like that I was able to make connections between what I learned at BYU Idaho and my work experience. Like knowing how to assess children without bias. That was actually very exciting because that was like my first experience being able to make that a connection between our observation and assessment class that we had to take with our practicums and my work experience as I tested the children on their background knowledge. I also felt like I was able to make lots of connections between figuring out the actual reasoning behind a child's behavior, not just because they were trying to make us mad or whatever, but because they were genuinely having a bad day or whatever, and I was able to talk it out with them and connect with the children on a personal level. And also, like with the tutoring, I had to write reports to the teachers, and that was something I learned in my child development classes too, was being able to write a report that was very detailed and unbiased and provided the information that teachers needed, because they were not the ones watching me tutor. I had to be able to convey the information on what we were working on to the teachers. If this is an internship that you are interested in, it doesn't have to be with kindergarten. It could be in any grade, because schools always need help. Always, in every grade, in every department, ever. You can contact Sharnay Adams, the school's assistant principal, via email. This is what I had to do to get this internship set up. Her email I provided for you, and through email we were able to set up an interview. My interview was less of like the typical work interview that you would think about. It was more of just figuring out what sort of experiences she needed to provide for me, and me being able to explain how my internship needed to work and just things like that. It was totally not even stressful. After that, I needed to write an internship proposal, so then she could present the proposal to the school's board of directors and the principal and get the internship approved. And then after that, you will be assigned a supervisor. My supervisor was actually the reading specialist of the school, and she was the one who I had to report to every day, and she's the one who signed my log sheets every week. And what I did is I showed up about a week early so then she could give me a tour of the school and sort of introduce me to the other teachers and orient me to how the school works. So anyway, that was my internship, and hopefully it will provide you with an experience that you need too. Thanks, bye.